Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say shalom to you Achman Akwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. All right, and this one, bear with me one moment. Drop the volume there a little bit. This one's called You Ain't Stopping What's About to Go Down, E. All right, and this is a lesson that I've had, kind of on the back. I don't want to say the back burner, but I've had it for a minute. I just haven't went ahead and got around to it because I've been doing other lessons. All right, but I want to get this before the article becomes increasingly more irrelevant. But regardless of the article, the point still stands. All right, about what this is speaking about. So the lesson won't be irrelevant, but the article would be. So the article, all right, I saw this a couple days. This is from February 22nd. It's currently the 28th, so it's been a minute now. It says, Joe Biden, big mistake. Biden condemns Putin's withdrawal from nuclear treaty. All right, now the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and look up what is the nuclear treaty. All right, because let's get some more information on that. Nuclear treaty. All right, it says Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons. All right, it says, let's see, what does the nuclear treaty do? It says the NPT, or the Non-Proliferation Nuclear Weapon Treaty, the NPT, all right, is a landmark international treaty whose objective is to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons and weapon technology, to promote cooperation in the peaceful uses of nuclear energy, and to further the goal of achieving nuclear disarmament, which means getting rid of nuclear nukes, and general and complete disarmament. So eventually, wants to get rid of all the nukes. All right, is the nuclear treaty expired? Says the United States and the Russian Federation have agreed to extend the treaty through February 4th, 2026. And that if that's even true, that doesn't even matter. But going back, he's withdrawn from it. All right, so he's no longer on the list of countries that support the nuclear treaty. All right, and that's big news. Now Biden's saying that's a big mistake, or however he talks, but that's all this guy does, all right? That's all this guy Biden does is say, hey, that's a big mistake, all right, and doesn't ever do anything about it, all right? Because he knows he can't do anything about it because the United States would get messed up, so they got to be walking very carefully because they're basically walking through a minefield right now, and a mine's going to go off. It's only a matter of time. It says, let's read more of the article. It says, You're the front lines of our collective defense, Biden tells Bucharest 9 group of Eastern European countries on last day of trip. Joe Biden on Wednesday night condemned as a big mistake Russian President Vladimir Putin's decision to suspend his country's participation in the last remaining U.S.-Russia nuclear arms control treaty. So Putin said, fuck that, all right, I'm not doing that. Why? Because he's planning on launching nukes on this place, all right? And he's going to, all right? It's prophetic. It says the comment came as the U.S. president closed out his wartime visit to Europe, working to shore up partnerships with allies on NATO's perilous eastern flank, even as Putin was drawing closer to China for help as his invasion of Ukraine neared the year mark. So I'll tell you what, Russia and China is not a force to be reckoned with, especially when they're teamed up together. So it ain't gonna be so good for Babylon. It says Biden's meeting with the leaders of Bucharest 9 nations in Warsaw came at the conclusion of a whirlwind 4-day visit to Ukraine and Poland meant to reassure allies that U.S. support in fending off Russia is not at risk of waning. And maybe, but it's gonna wane, all right? Maybe U.S. is going to continue to help those people, but guess what? When it comes time, when shit hits the fan, as they say, all right, these places aren't going to go after and help the United States. Okay, because the United States prides itself, we have so many allies. We have so many allies. We have Canada, we have Germany, we have the United Kingdom, we have Israel, but guess what? All these places are going to turn on you. All right, all these places are going to turn on you. All NATO, that's not you. They're all going to turn on you. It doesn't matter. All right, all European unions, all that's all going to turn on you. The EU, you're done. All right, and really the reason why the United States has ever been so strong as it is, anyway, is because of its allies. All right, it's because of its allies. That's it. If you look back in the war, You know, and look at the major technologies. Those were European inventions, all right, or UK inventions, United Kingdom inventions, or which is, you know, may, or depending on who you talk to, doesn't want to be considered part of the EU, but technically it is, all right. But if you look back at World War One, all right, who created the first tank? It wasn't the Americans, all right. If you look back at World War One, all right. Who created let's go check it out. No, we got that from yesterday. Yeah, British. British Army Colonel named Ernest Swinton and William Hankey said the British developed a tank. So there, who originally, those two people. All right, says William Trenton. But regardless, all right, it's not giving you, it's not just saying what country. Let's see. United Kingdom. Boom. There you go. There you go. And if you don't believe it, because it's getting all these things, look it up. The English created the tank. All right. Now, what country invented the AT rifle? Which, if in case you're wondering what AT is, it's anti-tank rifle that came out in World War One. The anti-tank rifle. All right. Where did it come out from? Origin. Usefulness of rifles for this purpose ran from the introduction of tanks in World War I until the Korean War. Now, history. Let's see. Yeah, so here it is. I believe it was Germany, I believe, because German didn't have tanks yet. They made tanks, and before that, I believe they made the. So yeah, this is the Mauser 1918 T Gorer anti-tank rifle. So I believe it is German. Let's see. Yeah, see, it says this weapon was manhandled by German infantry over the front of a trench wall and fired at low angles by eye at approaching enemy vehicles. So that happened. All right, and guess what the other tanks came from? The Panzer. Guess where that came from? Germany. So all these technologies, or another thing that America really loves is biological weapons. All right, guess who invented those? The Germans. All right. The Germans. All right. Who invented the nuke? All right. Now Albert Einstein's given credit a lot of the time, but I believe it was German. Yeah. So J. Robert Oppenheimer. Okay. Father of the atomic bomb. Well, it says he's American. Let's see. Says he's American, so maybe that one was American. All right. But he had a lot of help from Einstein. Okay. And let's see, what nationality was Einstein? I believe he was a Jew. German. He's just regular German. Could have swore I heard something about him being ish, but I guess he was just regular German. Einstein would explain, because Stein is a German word, but there you go. But apparently they had help from him with the atomic bomb. Really, the atomic bomb was invented by the Lord, because he sent the ability of those men to understand it, because the atomic bomb is really the Lord's weapon. All right. So we don't have to read any more of this article, but you know, America prides itself on all its accomplishments, but all of its accomplishments have been based off of other countries. All right, without your tanks, all right, without a lot of your rifles, all right, a lot of your rifles, and you know, not only the rifles, but the chamberings for those rifles are of German manufacture. All right, your tanks. All right, you damn sure weren't the first one to create a tank, so all of yours have been based on. Well, the first two people to create tanks were the British and the Germans. All right, so all of your research and study to make your own tank, it would have had to been based off of people that weren't Americans. So the Americans really, they don't really have anything that they've done themselves. Now, Edomites, they've done things. All right, Germans are Edomites. All right, at least the vast majority of them are. All right, but America thinks they're so strong when really it's just they've just nitpicked and taken things from here and a little bit of there. Right? It's just a big conglomerate mix. All right, says you ain't so the lesson again. You ain't stopping what's about to go down, Ian. Really, what I hear he's condemning Putin's withdrawal from the nuclear treaty because he knows what that means. All right, he knows what that means, and everybody should know what it means. All right, Putin is going to launch nukes, all right, and it is going to be launched in America, all right, and it's for why? Because it's the will of the Lord. That's what's going to happen. It's part of the Lord's punishment, all right, and as well as the Lord's going to use his chariots and be zapping people as well, but those nukes are going to be dropping as well, all right, and that's that's going to be the day of the Lord when he's going to have to save his elect out of it as well, and a lot of people ain't going to make it out, all right, only the elect. So Isaiah 13:7, it reads, "Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every heart shall melt." It says, "And they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed at one another. Their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh," and that's that day that we were just speaking of. That's the day of the Lord. All right, when Yahushua returns to deliver his elect, as well as just completely decimate the United States, okay, America. All right, Babylon the Great. Okay, behold the city. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger. So he's not coming back with hugs and love. All right, he's coming back with wrath and fierce anger. It says to lay the land desolate. He shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. So all you Jake, because you're the only one that can sin, all right, all of you are going to be gone. All right, and all the wicked are going to perish as well. All right, so all of your Edomite friends, all of your Moabite friends, all of your Hamite friends, they're going away, and you wicked Jakes are going away as well. Why? Because it says, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heavens and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil and wickedness, and the wicked for their iniquity. There you go. So look, it talked about the sinners shall be destroyed out of the land. All right, and as it says in 9, it says to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. So that's for you, Jake. All right, and down below here it says, and verse 11 it says, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. Okay, so that covers all ground right there. And it says, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And there's a lot of proud people. Esau is very proud, but in that day they're not going to be so proud. It says, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. And I will make a man more precious than 5 gold, even a man that the golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore will I shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, and in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And this is the day that's coming. All right, this is the day that's coming, and you can tell nukes are going to be launched because if you go up, it talks about the sky being darkened. All right, and there's other scriptures we can grab, and I think we grabbed. We have the one where it talks about shall roll together like a scroll. We've gotten that before. All right, look up roll together like a scroll, and you can read it. All right, I can grab it real quick. It's speaking of the nukes. Or heaven shall depart. Shall depart like a scroll. There it is, Revelation 6:14, and you can tell what it's talking about because it's in the book of Revelation. Revelation 6:14, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island removed out of their places. There you go. I think there's another one here. Well, it talks about hiding in the rocks too. Do I got this? Revelation 6. I don't have this, but I have something after it. But yeah, and then we'll actually grab that too. Revelation 6 and... Let's see, do we want to read... There's another part of here too. Yeah, here. So in 12... So Revelation 6 and 12, it reads, and I beheld when he had opened the 6th seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. And the stars of heaven fell into earth. What's that speaking of? Nukes. Even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken with a mighty wind. Put this together: earthquake, stars falling from the sky. All right, it's being shaken like a mighty wind. What is nuke? It's a nuke, and here's the mushroom cloud going off. All right, because the mushroom cloud is one of the last thing that happens. First, it's they fall, boom, they hit the ground, they create a massive shock wave and a blast of air that will peel your skin off and decimate buildings. All right, then it's the nuclear mushroom cloud. All right, that's the mushroom cloud. Okay. And it's still, when the mushroom cloud's going off, hell's still unfolding, mind you, all right? But that's one of the last things to happen, all right? The first one's that instant brightness that blinds you and usually makes you either temporary blind or permanently blind, depending on how close you are. Instant blindness. Boom. Your retinas are just shot, all right? Completely gone, all right? Your cornea, well, not your retina, but cornea. All right, one of them, which one it is, I ain't an eye doctor, all right? So whichever that is, done, completely blind, all right? Can't see. Then comes that heat. All right, that shock wave and that heat that's gonna melt your skin off, all right, and blow you apart, all right, melt your skin off, boom, blow your limbs, limb from limbs, fingers and nose and teeth, everything flying off of you, all right, burning your shadow in the damn ground, all right, because that's also what happens. Look it up, and then what happens? Boom, all right, all that particulate, is being manufactured into a giant mushroom cloud, all right, as it says in 14, it says, "And heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together." Look up how a mushroom cloud looks, all right, when it rolls out, all right, or when it comes in, rolls out, all right, however you want to look at it, just watch a mushroom cloud, all right, and this will start to explain it to you. And every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Now, what are Esau and all the kings of the world going to do? All right, it's clearly talking about nuclear warfare. It says, and the kings of the earth, and the great men and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman and every free man, hid themselves in dens of the rocks of the mountains. What is this talking about? All right, shelter, taking shelter. All right. And guess what? The multi-billionaires, all right, multi-millionaires and billionaires, what are they doing? What do they have? They have fallout shelters right now that they're building in mountains. All right. Verse 16, it says, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. All right. So, hide us from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. Why? It says 17, for the great day of his wrath has come, and who shall be able to stand? They know they're not going to make it, so they're going to try to hide themselves away. But guess what? Even if they do make it, they're not going to make it, because they're going to be plucked out by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, by Yahushai. And guess what? They're going to be the first to go into captivity, even if they make it through the destruction. All right. They're still not getting out of it scot-free. So that's Revelation chapter 6. All right. That's a beautiful chapter, right? To put it in perspective. Okay. And we didn't originally have that, but we have it now. We had it at the end, but we're gonna read it again, Lord willing. I might have to cut this lesson a little bit short because I'm, got to go to the plantation. But let's get Isaiah 66. If not, the second part of the lesson could be put together either today or tomorrow. All right. I don't know. All right. I'm not sure. I have to see how things work. Depending on how long this is, I'll have to see if I'm comfortable with how long it is. If it's too short, I'm gonna have to make a little bit longer of a lesson, and that's no problem to me. But I'll just have to see. I'm not sure how it's gonna go, but I want to make sure I have at least something out there. All right, regardless if I have to come on with a part 2, at least so you know, because the sheep got to eat. All right, so Isaiah 66 and 15, give them at least something to hold over until I get off the plantation and make something. Or if it's if I feel like it's enough, I'll just figure. I'll come with part 2 tomorrow. All right, I'm not sure. I have a lot of lessons on the back burner, so to speak, right now. I don't know if I have one or if there's just one, but I've been doing things a little bit differently, so there's things I haven't got to. I only have one lesson, and that's one I was actually going to make today, but I did not have the time for that. At least I could break this up into pieces. I didn't want to break the other one into pieces because it's a question. But let's go to Isaiah 66 and 15 as we are here. It reads, for behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind. To whirl in his chariots, that's speaking of the UFO. So not only are these nukes going to be going off, there's going to be big, giant spaceships in the sky. You heard me right. All right, you heard me right. There's going to be big, giant spaceships. You know, the things that you think the aliens are in? Well, guess what? There ain't aliens in there. There's not little green men. There's big black men, all right? So-called black. And big brown men. Let me say big brown men. The world calls us black, but, we're brown, really. Our people, not just so-called Negroes, but, all of our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Israelites, all right? We're all brown-skinned people. Some of us might not look so brown right now, all right, because, how things work through generations and generations, all right? We might look like a so-called white person, or we might look like a so-called Asian person, but we can still be Jake. So it's not always skin color, but when we're in the chariots, our skin color is going to be changed. So there ain't going to be no white person up in the chariot, all right? For example, say if I'm in a chariot, Lord willing I am, all right, I'm not going to look like the way I look now, all right? I'm going to be a dark brown skinned person, all right? Why? Because I've been changed, okay? But that's why they tell you, it's little green men. Why? Because it's easier. Little green men, instead of saying, it's saying, it's better to say, there's little green men, UFOs, we don't know what they are, little green men, and put that motive out there so people that hear like, little green men, instead of saying, biblically, we're the Edomites, all right, we're in Schitt's Creek, all right, with the Lord, all right, we're up to our knees in hell, the Lord hates us, and we are the devils that the Bible speaks of, and he's going to come back in spaceships, all right, and those are filled with black people. By the way, all the people that we were enslaving, those were actually the Lord's people, and he's not too happy about that. But he's had these chariots, these UFOs. These are actually chariots the Bible speaks of, and the Lord also as well. The Jesus Christ thing we made up, that was a lie as well. So it's actually a black man. And he's coming back in chariots to destroy us all. You think they're going to come out and say that, man? No. So what'd they come up with? Little green men. Little green men. They're little green men. Just pay attention, little green men. Also, there's a thing called Bigfoot. But people that believe in these are crazy. Ooh. Don't believe in those. You're wacky. All right? And that's what happened. But because you don't... Listen how I explained it. They would never say that, people be fucking freaking out, man. They'd be running to and fro, They'd be all sorts of panic and a state of emergency would go out and people would be panicking and screaming and there'd be complete utter chaos and riot, all right, because people would be freaking the hell out, all right? If you just say the part, so the Lord and his people are black, all right, and we're using worldly terms, the Lord and his people are black. The ones that we put through slavery and fed to babies and sodomized and killed and, was captive and, did terrible things and, and did all these evil acts to. See, the Lord's actually one of them. One of those people that we, one of the same color, all right, the same lineage that we're doing. So he's not too happy about that. Even if they said that, how fucking terrified people would be. That's why people refuse to believe it. It's not because they, it is because they don't get it. But a lot of things is denial through fear. All right, because that can't be the case. Why? Is it because it's really not the case, or is it because you're hoping and fucking screaming that it's not? All right, hoping and screaming that it's not in your mind. No, like that meme from what's his name from The Office. No, God, no. That's what you Edomites are like. All right, when you hear that. So instead of just and a lot of you don't understand it, but even if it even has any, some of you might say, this is starting to make sense. You're like, nope, couldn't be. Doesn't matter if it makes sense. Nope, couldn't be. Why? Because you're fucking terrified. It's lucky for the swearing, but you're terrified, okay? You don't want that to be the case. Not that you don't necessarily believe it, all right? And some of you, and you don't have the ability to understand it, but if it's even kindled in you a little bit, all right? Like people like Vocab Malone, all right? They're scared. They're shitting their pants, all right? That's what they're doing. All right, they're shaking in their boots. All right, they know. All right, some of these people know. All right, and the Lord, lets them have a little bit of knowledge just to torment them. All right, they won't understand the full gospel, of course, because they're heathens, but just enough to torment them. Isaiah 66 and 15 and completion, reading all the way down, says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots, the UFOs, as you call them, like a whirlwind." To do what? To give hugs and give everybody a kiss on their cheek and say, I love all my people, even though you're a different nation, I love you as well. All right, where's this goat? Let me take a picture with this goat, because they always photograph him with a goat. Let me photograph with the goat. Where's the goat? Let me give somebody give me the goat. All right, and giving everybody a kiss on the cheek and shaking hands and giving hugs and no, what's he coming to do? Says, For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and what? And his rebuke with flames of fire. And what's he going to do? For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. Does that sound like hugs and kisses? It doesn't sound like hugs and kisses to me. What does it sound like? It sounds like Isaiah 66 and 16. For by the fire and his sword the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. Not the hugged of the Lord shall be many. No, the slain of the Lord shall be many. Okay, I mean, you know what slain means? You should. Everybody knows what slain means if they have half of a brain on them. Slain means dead. All right, and of course, give me a minute. The app's starting to do its thing again. Let's grab it. Slain. Go away. Slain. What does it mean? Slain, it says, let's see, to kill, to murder, to put to death, do to death, put to the sword, butcher, cut down, cut to pieces, slaughter, massacre, shoot down, gun down, past participle of slain, all right, slay to slain, it says with an object, archaic, or literally kill a person in a violent way, okay? Kill a person or an animal in a violent way. There you go. So what's the Lord going to do? He's going to kill in a violent way. How many? Many, very many, a lot. Everybody who's not of the elect, to be exact. All right, if you want an exact number. Ooh, how many is that? 1 million, 2 million? Here's the number. Everybody who the Lord wants to kill. That's how many. All right, so just sit back and hope you're on the good side. All right, the elect, that's exactly 2,345,000 people. All right, no, it's not going to be none of that. It's going to be, you want to know how many people are going to die? 7. All right, 7,000. Not literally, but 7 as in completion, a complete number. Everybody who's not of the elect. Everybody who's not of the elect. All right. Well, how many of the elect? 1/3 of Israel. That's it. All right. The only definitive number we have is amongst the elect of Israel. There's going to be an elite number of men that are the 144,000. And how many of those men are there going to be? 144,000. Okay. But as far as the elect go, that we don't know the exact number. Okay, so let's get and I gotta get going here. Let me get 2 Thessalonians. How long has this been running? 26. All right, we'll get 2 Thessalonians. Let's see. 7 through 9. All right, 7 through 9, it reads. So 2 Thessalonians 1 and 7 through 9, it says, and to you who are troubled, rest with us when the Lord Yahushua shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels. What's he going to do? It says, in flaming fire, taking vengeance on them who know not the Most High, Yahweh, and that obey not the gospel of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, who shall be punished with everlasting destruction from the presence of the Lord and from the glory of his power. All right, and from the glory of his power. There you go. So it's not going to be so great for the vast majority of people. Let's grab Nahum 1. That's the same thing. 7 through 9. Lesson here. We'll grab it from 6 actually. It says, who can abide, who can stand before his indignation? Let me start over. Who can stand before his indignation, and who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him. Okay, so if you're trusting in the Lord, all right, and you're truly in this truth, hey, if as long as you're of the elect, all right, we call ourselves the hopeful elect, you'll be in good hands, all right. But we that's what we can't just call ourselves the elect and just move on with it. We gotta hope, because there's some people that are gonna fall out right at the end, man. All right, we're hoping not to be a part of that number. We want to stay diligent and stay strong in our faith all the way until the end. All right, all the way up into the end. All right, we want to finish the race. We want to finish the race with as much strength as we started with. Okay. Even though it's going to be hard, we don't want to start giving up, all right, at the end, all right, because some people will give up and I'm not running all this way. You know, I'm good, and they're gonna trail off. All right, just like it happens in running competitions or whatever they call them. All right, because people can't make it; they're too tired. All right, but there's gonna be those people that are gonna continue with just have that burning in their brain. Says I'm going to complete this. All right, and they have that, and that's the elect that's gonna have that mindset. Okay. So it says, who can stand before his indignation, and who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble. On the day of trouble is going to be Jacob's trouble, the day of the coming of Yahushai as well. It says, and he knoweth them that trust in him. So he knows who you are. It says, but with an overrunning flood, he will make an utter end of the place thereof, and darkness shall pursue his enemies. There you go. What do you imagine against the Lord? He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up a second time. There you go. So it's not going to happen. That's not going to happen again, man. All right, you're not gonna get off scot-free, as I say. I think I'm gonna cut it right there. All right, because we're 4 scriptures in, and I got 4 more scriptures I need to read. I think I'm gonna cut it right there. Depending on how things go, I might end up continuing this tonight. If that doesn't end up working out, I'll continue it tomorrow, Lord willing. All right, and Lord willing, I'll continue it tonight. All right, but we'll see how, regardless, Lord willing, all right, there is a tomorrow. There will be a lesson tomorrow, Lord willing. But, because, if there ain't a lesson, something's wrong. Either my channel went down or something happened, all right, because I make a lesson every single day. All right, so you check the alternate channels if you don't see any lessons up, because I make sure to make a lesson every day, so you don't have to worry about that, But, so we're going to cut that there, all right, for now. So that's part 1 of you ain't stopping what's about to go down, E. All right, that's part 1. Let's go ahead and put that in there. So you ain't stopping what's about to go down, E. All right, so with that, we're going to close out. Lord willing, we'll come back and get, Malachi 4:1-3, Nahum 1-2, Isaiah 13-19, and Revelation 16:12-17, and be able to close it out on part 2 officially. All right, but for now, we're going to shut down part 1. All right, so Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim Rakak. I want to give double honors to elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Shalom to you, brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until the next one, Lord willing, Shalom.